Congratulations! You've connected with the Pulpit Perspectives podcast. Join Reverend Doctor Kent Lundy as he connects with pastors where they preach, literally at the pulpit of their church. It's a point of view with purpose and personality that informs and inspires with real life stories from great preachers you need to know. Your host is Reverend Dr. Kent Lundy. Let's join Kent at a pulpit with a fresh perspective from his guest preacher.
Hello and welcome to Pulpit Perspectives podcast. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Kent Lundy. Pulpit Perspectives podcast exists to create connections among the clergy of the North District and their churches. I'm standing here in Whiting, Indiana, in Whiting United Methodist Church, in the way tip corner of the northwest corner of the state. I think I can reach out and touch Chicago from here, but I'm standing here in the sanctuary with their pastor, Bill Jones. Bill, welcome to Pulpit Perspectives podcast.
Thank you, Kent, for having me.
You're welcome. Glad to have you. So we're here at Whiting United Methodist Church. How long have you been their pastor?
Not a year yet. Maybe about 7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
Okay. And as I understand it, this is not your only appointment.
No. I also serve at Griffith Whiting United Methodist Church, which is located in Highland. So yeah, I've been there for about 4 years. I'm horrible with time, so
That's all right. About a quadrennium, we'll say,
like
in good United Methodist fashion. Okay. Well, Bill, what are you celebrating?
What am I selling? Well, good news here in Whiting is we just had a new roof put on. We are trying to get some building issues taken care of so we can be more open to the community. So that's one project down with about 2 more to go.
Okay.
So we are pushing forward to try to get out in the community.
With a good roof over your head, nothing's going to stop you now.
Let's hope.
Okay. All right. So who inspired your call to ministry?
I would have to say 2 people. My mom had a faith that through many heartaches in her life was not, her faith was tested, but it never broke. So I would have to say my mom. And then with direction into ministry, it would have to be a mentor of mine. His name is Reverend Tim Powers, and he helped me get to the process and show me that there was more in life than just youth, that many other people needed to hear about Jesus' love. So he helped me tremendously as well.
That's wonderful to have those in your cloud of witnesses to encourage your call to ministry. Mm-hmm. We are grateful for them. Yes. All right. So what do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? Well, I love the water. So when I feel like I need a break or a little bit of peaceful moment, I've tried to find a body of water, whether it's a lake or whether it's Lake Michigan or Epworth Forest or even just a local lake by the house at a forest preserve. Being there in the quiet. Some people would say that's not fun, but for me, it's a way to get away from everything else and to be in the moment more. I do like sports. So I used to be a Cub fan.
Used to be a Cubs fan.
Until they went with the marquee channel and you had to pay for that. So they lost me as a viewer. So
no more free
Yep.
Cubs viewing. Okay.
Yep.
And so when you're at the water, are you on it or looking at it or
on the edge, on a dock?
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to be on it, but the resources that are not always there for that. Mostly a dock or on the ground next to it. Either one.
Okay. Yeah. Lot to appreciate by being near water and watching it. That is a very
Calming.
Holy and calming thing. Absolutely. I love it. All right. So what is your one go-to Bible verse?
The one that I usually fall back on, almost every sermon I refer to, is to love God and to love others as yourself. I feel that many people have different scriptures that will lift them up, but for that one, for me, having the words of Jesus told to us when he was asked about the greatest commandment, and he talked about those two, and for me, that is why I'm in ministry. So is to show the love of God and try to love others the best I can.
There you go. I like that Jesus kept it simple.
Yes, yes.
I need things in a simple way, and yeah, love God, love neighbor, bada boom, bada bing.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Basic foundation of what we're doing here.
Right.
So, yep.
All right. No excuses not to remember that.
Yep.
Okay. I like it. Okay. So who or what keeps you humble?
I would have to say, hard with me saying it with her in the room, but my wife, she has a tendency she is my soundboard, and there's a lot of times where I might get frustrated in ministry, and she always pulls me back to why we're doing it. So she makes me think that, she reminds me that it's bigger than just how I feel or about me, that we have to look at the bigger picture, and yeah, and she just keeps me grounded when I'm ready to take off.
Okay.
So,
where would we be without our wives?
yeah. Yeah.
What a gift.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. So if you only had one preacher to listen to the rest of your life, who would that preacher be?
That's a tough one. I listen to several. Being bivocational, Thursday is my longer day, so that's the day I get to watch all the YouTube sermons of the people that I like. But I think if I had to pick one, I'm trying to think of his name now. He's from New York. I met him at camp, and he basically did a church plant in New York. It took him about 4 years to get a place to worship. He was started out of his apartment. When COVID was happening, he recorded and did the wonderful Zoom thing, and with groups gathered in different apartments. And the church is called Meta Church. For the life of me, I can't remember his
That's all
name.
right. It'll come back to you.
Yes,
if you're like me, it'll come back to you.
I can see his face.
Yeah. Okay. What is compelling about his style or his content?
The way that he preaches, I feel that he breaks down. First off, he connects the scripture with your real life experiences. He also he teaches the scripture, but at the same time as he does that, he always brings it around to how you can improve yourself in God's love, and he just does it really well. And he's just an amazing speaker. Very honest, very transparent. One of the things that caught my attention about him was when we were at camp, he actually, not the most happy subject doing this podcast with you, but he actually talked about a time where he considered committing suicide. And I thought how impactful that was to the kids that were there, to know that the speaker up on the stage was just like them in certain aspects, and just being himself is really what appeals him to me, and that's kind of where I try to keep my preaching style. I think people are smart. People know when you're not sincere, and I think being in ministry, if you're not doing it for the right reasons, they feel that.
Well, and in my mind, it goes back to your go-to Bible verse of the embodiment of love has to be authentic.
Absolutely.
And you're right. You can smell that inauthenticity being a mile away. So, yeah.
For sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So who are you, Mary or Martha?
I think I'm a little bit of both, honestly. There are certain things that I'm very methodical with, and then there's other ones where I fly by the seat of my pants and just concentrate on Jesus. And that gets me into a lot of trouble with the trustees because trustees and the finance committee, because I think sometimes we have a tendency to complicate things, and which I know that there is a reason for why we do things, but there are also times where I want to jump ahead and just do the work. So that gets me in trouble sometimes. But, we have to find a balance. At least I have to find a balance. And I'm getting better at the following the rules and paying attention to having everything in place. Coming from the youth aspect, I did a lot of things on the fly. So I had to switch that way of thinking over to a little bit more organization and being prepared. So
It's good. It's good that you are aware of that, and of the balance and the tension that the Martha part of you and the Mary part of you. So good for you for being self-aware, because it does take both. Absolutely. So, okay, I'm going to ask you to use your imagination a little bit, okay?
All right.
So just go with me.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to go axe throwing, okay? Even if you've literally never gone axe throwing, you're using your imagination, okay? So you're going axe throwing, and you can bring one person from the Bible to go axe throwing with. Who are you bringing from the Bible to go axe throwing?
Well, it probably kind of sounds like a cop out answer, but if you want to learn how to do it right, I guess I would have to say Jesus.
Okay, all right.
I mean, if we're going axe throwing, he would be the one to say, okay, here's how you do it. This is hey, I'll take his word over it.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I can see it on his business card. Jesus, Messiah, and ace axe thrower.
Trainer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Okay, all right. Yeah. So just because he knows everything, and
if we're supposed to, I'm just getting back to how we do ministry is trying to follow the way that he taught us. So greatest teacher of all. So I'll go axe throwing with him.
There you go. And who knows? Maybe there's a lost gospel account out there that there's really was that one time when he was at the axe throwing yard and he just cleaned house.
I'm sensing the fact that you have a huge target, which is the world, and the small bullseye, and that's every individual person, and that's the one he tries to connect with.
There you
go.
I like it. You can't go wrong with Jesus, axe thrower.
Yep.
Okay, got it. So, what's your favorite church season?
Probably, I think the two are connected. I think going from Advent into Holy Week. I know that's two, but I always tell my congregation that if you don't pay attention any part of the year, pay attention here, because you can hear the birth of Christ all the way to the crucifixion, and he is risen. So I think those two are so connected, and if you remind your congregations about it being a story and not just two seasons, I think that benefits, it adds more to the two seasons.
That there's a connection, that they're not an independent, okay, we've done Advent, okay, now we're done, we're going to move on, but it's all this grand story
to tell from Advent to Easter. And exactly, if you keep them separated, then I don't think you get the full grasp of things.
Which then is the challenge of a preacher like you to be able to make that point, right? Because I think naturally it is just to think it's natural to think in compartmentalized ways. And you as a preacher have to get up and say, no, folks, this is the next chapter of the story that's connected.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. I like it. Thank you. And speaking of the church season, I noticed, even though this is called Pulpit Perspectives Podcast, we're not standing in your pulpit up there. We're standing down here. Why is that?
Well, I'm obviously, I'm not saying this to compare. Nobody can compare themselves to Jesus, but Jesus preached to the people, with the people. And for me, there's a separation when you go up to a pulpit. And that's just my personal opinion. When I'm up there, it makes people think that I might be a little bit better than them, that I'm on a higher, they're down here and where I'm up here, or any pastor is up here. So being down on the floor allows me, I think, to be on the same level as the people that I'm preaching to. So that's why I preach from the floor.
Okay. So Jesus was down amongst the people when he preached. So you're going to follow that example?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm no better because I'm a pastor. As many of the people that you're going to talk to know that they they have the same battles that the people in the pews have. So why put ourselves a little bit higher than the people that we're preaching to? So I started it actually before my first appointment, when I filled in at the pulpit. One of my last sermons at the old building in Griffith was the one that I decided I wanted to be down on the ground with the people, because the things that they were dealing with, I was dealing with. So I wanted it to be the same level.
We're in this together.
Yeah.
Right. There
Exactly.
you go. Well, yeah. If you're going to follow the example of Jesus as axe thrower, you might as well follow him as preacher, right?
Sounds pretty good to me.
There you go. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when you think about your fellow clergy, whether you know them directly or just indirectly, what do you hope your fellow clergy know?
That they can reach out to me for any help at any time, whether it be personal conversation with a cup of coffee, or encouragement, or I need a chaperone for a lock-in. Are you free on Friday? All those different things. I think the more that we work, the better together, the better it is for not only the community. I had this crazy idea with another pastor of switching pulpits every quarter or so, to where he would come in here and preach, and I would go to his church and preach, just to give a different perspective. So those kind of ideas of how we can do this, how we can support, how we can help each other. Those are the things that I want them to know. So, I mean, just that they have my number. I'm here in ministry right next to you, so let's work together. And if it's whatever that might look like, that's what I'm up for. So.
I hear you say you are a partner available to be present when needed.
Yeah.
And that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Good for you. Thank you for that. Absolutely. All right, last question.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think of the rest of your time being pastor at Whiting and Griffith, however long or short that might be, what three words come to mind when you think about trying to encapsulate your ministry together at those two churches? So three words that best encapsulates your future in ministry at Whiting and Griffith United Methodist Churches.
Well, probably the first one would be unity, because if the congregation isn't united, what you're planning is not going to work out the best that it could be if they're not united. Second, I would have to say missional. That is my goal for both churches. Is we have an hour-long service on Sunday, and it's not just about that. That it has to be about taking what you hear and using it into the world, whether it's your neighbor who is next door, or whether it's a community event that you can be part of. You know, if you're not missional, all you're doing is, not to take anything away from it, but all you're doing is coming to church. So, and church is not what we're here to do. Third word probably has two different meanings to it. Maybe grow, to make disciples, and that's not to add people to the membership rolls. I probably shock some of the congregation when I say that I would rather have a church full of people that weren't members than a half-full church of members, just because of the fact that they have two different mentalities. Right. The people that are here just to hear the word, to want to have that, to feel that love and that filling of the Spirit, those people can take the word out and be more efficient at using it. To where if you're just coming and I'm a member and I pay my tithes and I just come for the hour. So yeah.
Okay. Unity, missional, and grow.
Mm-hmm.
Unity, missional, and grow. Those are incredible words. Mm-hmm. And that'll be my hope and prayer for you as you continue to minister with the fine folks of Whiting and Griffith United Methodist churches.
Thank you. I always appreciate prayers.
Absolutely. And in an irony of ironies, you're celebrating a new roof, and during this podcast, it started to rain, and it's dry.
Yes.
So there you go. We're celebrating an effective, efficient roof on the sanctuary of Whiting United Methodist Church.
Yep, for sure.
Well, Bill Jones, thank you so much for being the guest on Pulpit Perspectives podcast.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. So Pulpit Perspectives podcast exists to create connections amongst North District clergy and their churches. If you want to check out all the great things that God is doing in the North District, we invite you to find them on Facebook. So the North District of the Indiana Annual Conference. You can also go to the website of the conference, which is www.inumc.org, and check out the North District page there. Well, that'll do it for another episode of Pulpit Perspectives podcast. I'm your host, Reverend Doctor Kent Lundy, signing off for now.
There you have it, a fresh perspective from the pulpit with a great preacher. You know you want to hear more. You can do just that by connecting with Pulpit Perspectives with Reverend Dr. Kent Lundy on Apple Podcast and Spotify, where you can like and follow the podcast. What's more, you can spread the good news about Pulpit Perspectives in your church and with your neighbors. Plan now on joining Kent at the pulpit, where you'll meet another great preacher on Pulpit Perspectives.